Machine learning in computer-aided engineering. How did Intuitio help a client? We have Mohan with us to talk about it. What is the background for this solution?
One of our client approached few years ago, and they wanted a solution which will cut down the cycle time as well as the manpower. And they had a difficulty in both because the time to market has increased nowadays, and then since it was increasing, and the market requirement is that they need to produce the cars as fast as possible. It's a long cycle from the concept stage till the manufacturing of a car, or at least the design of the car itself takes several years actually, and the computation requires that the time to be reduced, the design time to be reduced. Now what used to happen was that the simulations what they need to do while designing the cars was taking a lot of time, and also it was producing a lot of data and number of iterations. So all these things were putting pressure on them to reduce the number of scenarios testing, number of scenarios modeling. They were looking at an alternative ways. It's an R&D division of that automotive company. Since they knew that we are working, or we pitched them that we are working in a data science based models and all that, they checked with us whether we can apply data science in reducing the cycle time in the design simulations. We provided a solution to them. We thought of solution and then proposed a solution saying that yeah, it can be done. We may have to work together because we had less domain knowledge, which they were readily agreed. And that's how we started, we pitched the solution to them, which turned out to be a large program, and then it helped the client in pretty much all the ways they wanted to.
Once solution was suggested, what were initial challenges and how was that handled?
Yes, the initial challenges were more towards change management. Because say change from the system what they have been working for the last several decades. Now suddenly a new introduction of a new way of designing didn't go that well with the senior management, some of them, because they were so used to the existing ways and means of designing the vehicle designs. So it was a little bit of a concern for them. So what we kind of suggested is, what we are looking at is not replacing their existing systems. We still need those, but instead of spending all the time on those systems, do some simulations from the existing systems, and then use data science models. And then once the model provides the output, again they can validate with their existing or more familiar systems to prove that our solution has worked, so that it cuts down a lot of time. So that actually helped quite a bit. That's one. And second one was, it's kind of we understanding their domain was definitely a challenge, because we are a data company, and then required some kind of an engineering knowledge too. So that's when we discussed and collaborated, because they brought the domain knowledge and we brought the data science, and then we could solve this issue really well.
What process did you follow during the implementation?
We first looked at their existing process, and then we looked at the stages of the design, how many phases it goes through. In fact, it goes through 7 or 8 phases, in fact. So we looked at duration of each phase, and then what exactly they do, how many components they keep freezing at the end of every design phase. And we looked at where we can reduce the maximum amount of effort and time. Reason, because the main objective was to reduce the cycle time. We worked with, and since we did not have much domain knowledge, obviously we had to understand a little bit. So we started with knowledge sharing session about their process, their technology and their tools, their people. We understood all that first. And then we picked up a small pilot in the place where it can probably show maximum, the savings. So then we worked on that pilot. We did we took a small sample, and then we proved that it works. At least directionally it is correct. Then we started looking at the few use cases. What are the use cases we should handle? For example, noise, vibration and harshness, the crash, durability. Some of these solutions we thought we'll use as the initial use cases. and started working on one by one. So that helped to kind of start building the confidence level in using the new technology as a complementary to their existing systems and processes. So this helped.
How did Intuitio managed analytics solutions for automotive R&D?
We have been a data science company all through. Automotive R&D is somewhat new to us, but at the same time, since we had worked out with the client to understand their process initially and then start working on our solution, so we could work with them closely and apply our analytics, because what we had as part of Intuitio, we already had lots of algorithms, whether it be regression, classification, and some of the things which were required to provide the solution. We already had the artifacts. Now what we did is we looked at how do we knit together them in a sequence so that we get the solution. We looked at automating certain things, because there was a lot of even for applying the data science, we also had to do some R&D. So what we did is to do repetitively, manually and all, we kind of built an automated machine learning platform which will run in sequence several algorithms and compare that and then provides the results. We applied our analytics knowledge to ensure saying that we don't repeat the same thing again and again, but we'll use the system instead to automate certain things and then provide the solution.
What kind of benefits did the client enjoy with our solutions?
So eventually, when they estimated, we reduced the cycle time by 30%. That was the greatest win for us.
Thank you, Mohan. Thank you for watching.